Well, the Tennessee basketball team used every minute of the game on Saturday before finally pulling out a win over Alabama. And if we ever heard that arena louder than when Jahmai Mashack made that three. It was loud. Even Zakai was having fun. Welcome to the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law. This is the Players Show, and we've got the players in tonight. Well, you've never seen a reenactment like you're going to see tonight. We are going to reenact the last play of the game. We're going to hear what everybody was thinking all the way through that last play. Mark Packer along with T. Jones Live, Jason Swain down there. That place went nuts.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. What was unbelievable is it was almost a defeat getting ready to happen, but it turned into victory. Who would have thought, Pac-Man, Jason, that we would have liked for Chaz to miss the free throw where Mashack just bullied the guy and got fouled and went to the free throw line and tied the game up, and then it was a nip and tuck and whoever wanted it more than after that.
Yeah, I mean, Chaz gets 18 points, but when he missed the free throw, I thought about the Vanderbilt game, missing that free throw late. But because of Mashack's effort, getting in, getting position, forcing a foul, it turned out to be the best for Tennessee.
And here's the thing. If it was poetic justice for one guy to hit that three, it was Jahmai Mashack, because in the second half, he willed that team through effort to stay in that basketball game.
Unsung hero. He's been unsung hero all year long, Pac-Man. I mean, he does the dirty work. He does a great job of cutting, and ZZ hitting him on cuts. He's always guarding the best offensive player. He goes to the defensive glass. He goes to the offensive glass, and people say he can't shoot. I disagree, because with 3 seconds to go when he had the ball, he knocked down the biggest shot maybe this year in the Vols season.
Well, when he was here last time, he told us that we were going to see a different Jahmai Mashack offensively. Yeah. We did not expect that with the shot at the end of the game, but all the nerds that pump the analytics, you can't account for what Jahmai Mashack means to this basketball team and what he did yesterday in the win against Alabama.
Well, there were 2 plays that really kind of did it. Okay, maybe 3. That was one of them right there. I don't know what that move was, but anyway, it was pretty. There was the play on the missed free throw where Mashack gets inside, the Alabama defender pushes him. That was one of them. And the other one was the 5-second call where Tennessee had to get a stop. They locked down on the Alabama inbound, and they got the ball.
We call it 55 under. I don't know what Coach Barnes calls it, but, it's under OB baseline defense. And we try to prevent the ball from getting in bounds. And that's what UT did. They prevented them from getting in bounds. They got a 5-second count. But I have to put this one on Nate Oates, my buddy from suburban Detroit, Romulus High School. Nate, you should have called timeout. You had a timeout left, and you didn't call it.
He had 2 timeouts.
Basketball malpractice, buddy.
Yeah, he had 2 timeouts.
Really?
Yeah, didn't use one of them. But wait, when I think about Jahmai Mashack, here's a guy that embraced the process.
Yeah.
Think about his free throws his freshman year. I remember his free throws his freshman year. Nervous in that environment, in that position.
Yeah.
He didn't hit the rim the last 2 free throws. Did not hit the rim, was unconscious, didn't think about it, did not hit the rim. Straight net.
But the epitome of a team is, and okay, we give Zakai a lot of accolades. He was struggling at the free throw line yesterday. But a team picks up their teammates when the teammates aren't having the best of days. Zakai did a lot of good things. Chaz did a lot of good things. Now, Lanier kind of disappeared just a little bit for a little bit of time. He even got put on the bench towards the end of the game, which is kind of like, what's going on? But my point is that a team has enough good players to pick up for the other guys.
Jordan Gainey.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah. Jordan Gainey, 18 points. We got 26 points off the bench. Gainey had 18. D. Stone had 6, and Cade had 3.
I'm going old school on who Gainey reminds me of. I'm going to your Detroit days, the microwave. Vinnie Johnson. Vinnie came in as the 6th man and was always that guy that could just change the pace of the game.
He sure can. And then obviously we've talked about this all year long that Gainey is a 6th starter. I mean, he played 29 minutes yesterday, and then he was very aggressive. He was hunting his shots, Jason, in the latter part of the second half, and I think the coaching staff has the confidence on him to do that.
Remember, we had him in the game, the show after the Illinois game.
Right.
And we asked him about the conversations in the huddle when Zakai got in foul trouble.
Yeah.
Zakai got in foul trouble against Alabama, and no one had to say anything. They just kind of said, all right, do your thing. And he automatically knew that he needed to be more aggressive. That was the same thing that happened on Saturday. It was a little glimpse of what we saw against Illinois.
So here's what got me a little bit is when Zakai picked up the 2 fouls quickly and he went to the bench, the broadcast team was essentially like, the game's over. I mean, that was kind of the attitude. The game's changed so much. They've lost Zakai, Zeigler. And I'm like, when Zakai was out against Florida, they drilled him by 20. No disrespect to Zakai, but this is a team that picks up their teammates when there's something going on, and that's what they did against Florida.
They underestimated the crowd at
That's what I'm
TVA.
saying. That's my point.
Yeah, they're not going to let the team quit, and they're going to give them the emotion.
And it's not affecting them mentally.
No question about it. And then, again, we got 20 points off Alabama turnovers, and we scored nearly 30 points in the paint. And we've talked about points in the paint, whether it's downhill, spoon feeds, drop-offs, offensive rebounds. We did a good job with that, and that enabled us to get the victory.
Yeah, the other guy stepped up, but I understand why the broadcast was a little nervous for Tennessee when Zakai went out. You think about all the other times that Tennessee played Alabama, Zakai had Mark Sears in handcuffs, and he got a little free Saturday. And I think part of that was because Zakai was on the bench, and he's been playing great the last couple of games. But Zakai, we know he's the straw that stirs the drink offensively and defensively, but kudos to the guys for stepping up.
So, Okpara, we've got to get 9 rebounds. But of all of the plays in that game that were unsung, his awareness to set the pick for Jahmai on the 3 was actually pretty impressive because, as we'll talk about, which we're going to reenact the whole last play. We got all the players here. You're Ricky B. You're the Alabama defender. Zakai's Zakai, Jahmai's Jahmai, and I'm the referee. Watch Okpara. I don't know what that was, but it freed Mashack.
We call it, from coaching lingo, a little brush screen. Luckily, we didn't get one of those guys that called a block right there. But it was a brush screen, and it enabled Jahmai to create some space so he can get the shot off unencumbered.
Yeah, it was great that he didn't make contact because it could have been called a moving screen if he would have made contact.
Yes, sir.
When I watched Mashack running up court, I was thinking of the old movie, The In-Laws, Serpentine, because he's running all over the court. And that's what we're going to talk to him about. Let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to change studios. This is the first time we've ever done this. We're going to reenact the play. We're going to do it in slow motion. Everybody's going to say what they were thinking at the time in the final play when we come back.
Zakai Zeigler's appearance on The Locker Room is brought to you by Lakewood Capital Group.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
I was coming home and a lady hit me head on. It totaled my car. It fractured my right heel and it bruised me up really badly. The Garza Law firm, they were very compassionate, but yet they were very detailed. They didn't let me down. They never stopped fighting. It helped me regain confidence in law firms. I would definitely recommend the Garza Law firm.
The Garza Law firm. Let us help.
was the star around here until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, NPG Brain and Concussion, Knoxville Smiles, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
You know, I've never had guys more nervous than I've got right now. Okay, by the way, this is what we dress like when we have a set. Okay, so Swain didn't know we were going full body. He's upset with me. He's got sweats on. So here's what we're doing. We're going to reenact the final play in slow motion, okay, and what everybody was thinking. Zakai plays Zakai. Jason is the Alabama defender. Jahmai is Jahmai. T. Jones Live is Ricky B, okay, and I'm the referee. So here we go. What's the play? What are we doing? What are you trying to do?
First off, the play was exactly what Shaq did, Jahmai did. We ran out loop cuts. He came back to the ball. Boom. But before that, I looked at Coach Barnes, and the play was, we know in practice too, we run the play. If we don't got, we can't kick it back, try to kick it up the sideline or get it over half court, and we're going to call a timeout. So I looked at him, I'm like, oh, if I can't get it, like, what we doing? He's like, still, when we get over half court, we're going to call a timeout. So I was like,
so that was the plan.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
Get past half court and call timeout.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I passed it to Jahmai.
What are you thinking when you get the ball?
So, like Zakai said, the plan was to go to half court and call timeout. Now, I don't usually play the position that I was in during that moment. I'm usually JG or Chaz. I'm one of those guys filling off. So this is a new position. But I do know that we're supposed to call a timeout at half court. But when I caught the ball, or actually, let me rewind. Before that, Coach Barnes came down, and he was mouthing something to me. But TBA is so loud, I didn't hear a word he said.
Come on, man.
Not
you
a
know
word.
you wanted to shoot the three. Don't give me that.
I ain't hear not a word.
You wanted to shoot the three.
My eyes was closed. So the play starts.
So you get the ball.
Right.
Now, the Alabama defender, you were between the two.
Right.
Obviously, Swain, you make the decision to do what?
I don't want Zakai to get the ball, bro. It's too fast.
I was booking it. I'm like, yo, but we realized he couldn't get the ball back.
This is the first point in the play where Jahmai's been disrespected. You don't want Zakai to get the ball.
Yeah.
So you turn up court and you see this.
I turn up court and I see room. Like I see a bunch of room. I see nobody guarding. I said, perfect. I'm dribbling up the court, dribbling. I see Felix right there. I see Zakai in the corner of my eye. And then I see the two Alabama defenders guarding.
Okay.
Right when I pass fake to Zakai, I said to myself, Jahmai, you're about to make history. Like, you're about to shoot this.
You said that to yourself.
I said, I'm going to shoot the ball. Like,
so you just admitted
100%.
You ignored Ricky B.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I ignored Ricky B.
Okay, so let's stop in your thought process. Okay. Ricky Barnes, what are you thinking? No, not yet. He's not to midcourt. What are you thinking?
As a coach, I'm thinking, if he can get to half court with about 2.5 or 2 seconds to go, timeout, and then I can run one of my sideline out-of-bounds plays that we practice religiously throughout the year, right?
So you're waiting till he crosses midcourt. I'm behind. I'm over here. I'm the referee. Okay, so as I'm coming up, I'm in the trail position. I'm a basketball referee, so I'm going to throw some things out there. I'm in the trail position. I know that the C position on the other side has responsibility of clock. He's watching the clock. My responsibility is the ball and the timeout from the coach. But my angle is bad. Mm-hmm. You're on the far side. If Zakai had the ball, I got the ball and the coach in the same spot, but you're way over there. So I'm trying to watch both. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you hit midcourt, and now what happens with Ricky B?
Timeout, Shaq.
Timeout. And what are you doing as the Alabama defender? You're still doing what?
I'm praying. It's over.
You're still shutting Zakai off.
That's what I'm doing. I'm shutting Zakai off.
So the clock is at about 1.5, and what do?
I see that Coach Barnes is trying to tell the ref timeout. So I turned and timeout.
You turned your back to the play.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ref. I'm like, timeout. And I hear the buzzer go off. And I'm like, yo.
So I'm right here. You're looking at me. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, well, when I came down.
History?
I was thinking, good. Like I was thinking, like what a great brush screen Felix had because he freed me up a lot of space. And then I seen the other Alabama defender coming up, so I said, okay, I got to set my feet and I got to shoot it fast because the clock's about to wind down. So right when I release it and it goes in the air, and I do that stance.
Did you know it was good?
It felt good coming off my hand. Like,
okay.
It felt like I was going to make it. So I shot it, I'm looking, and I make it. So now I'm like, first of all, 1,000 things just came into my head. One, I'm hoping I got it off in time.
Yeah.
Two, I'm hoping that Zakai didn't
get the timeout.
Get the timeout. So when I turned around and I'm walking off, I'm like, first of all, in my head, I'm like, all right, be cool. Like,
yeah, be cool. National television. Like, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So be cool. But I'm looking at Alabama. Then I look at Zakai.
And he's not even paying attention.
Zakai and Coach Barnes.
He's still upset he didn't get the shot.
Had their hands up.
Yo, what?
So I'm like, I'm like hoping and I'm praying that they did not call it.
So let me stop you right now and say something. Turn and face the camera just a little bit just for the angle of it. But here's what I'm going to say is, had the referee, when he saw the timeout across midcourt with 1 second to go, had he gone up to call it to give the timeout and then given the timeout over here, that timeout would have been granted after you released the ball and the ball was in the air. Can you imagine if the whistle blew while the ball was in the air?
I wouldn't have came outside.
And then I said timeout and the arena goes crazy and we're having a completely different conversation today had the timeout been given.
I think it would have robbed one of the greatest shots in Tennessee history.
Thanks.
And I'm so happy that ref did not see them call a timeout.
Okay. Cool.
I'm ecstatic.
Facts. Worked out.
That's really facts.
This was good.
This was
Okay,
fun.
so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to step out of the way. Jason's actually going to get the talk and do the Food City player perspective with Jahmai when we come back on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law. This is the Players Show, by the way.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, D1 Training, Lakewood Capital Group, Ted Russell Ford, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop.
Where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
Is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama Zizi approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hey, Sterling, man, come on, we got a roof to replace.
Let's go, baby.
Woo!
Let's go.
Hey, Sterl, you ready to go to the top?
Man, I can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
Knoxville Smiles depend on us to make your smile better. Knoxville Smiles, are you happy with your smile today? Knoxville Smiles, we're all about smiles.
Hey, Lance, what makes you smile?
Pancake blocks.
When a family needs a fence, it's more than a piece of wood or metal. It's a place where your pets are kept safe. It's a place where memories are made. It's what helps make your house a home. At Knox Fence, we have decades of experience in residential and commercial fencing. Whether you're looking for safety, security, or privacy, we would love to help your family make your house a home. Call Knox Fence today at 865-414-8713 or visit us online at knoxfence.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Griffin. I'm a dentist here in Knoxville, Tennessee.
In 22, I had a wakeboard tower hit me on the head and give me a concussion. In my office, I show x-rays to my patients so they can see their teeth. I needed somebody to do the same thing for my brain, so I went to MPG. They did an EEG of my brain, and they were able to show me the activity of my brain and give me a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So I choose MPG because brains is what they do, and that's all they do.
Time now for the Food City Player's Perspective. A look inside the locker room with the Vols.
All I know is we got a great director and of that reenactment of what happened yesterday in Knoxville. Now I'm gonna throw it over to Jason with a guy that the paparazzi's been trying to get a hold of all for the last 24 hours.
They just sneak him in tonight.
Jahmai, growing up, young ballers always think about the last shot, practice the last shot. You get a chance to actually do it in the biggest game probably in Thompson Bowl and Food City Center history. How many times have you actually had a game winner in your high school days?
I've had probably, I think, to my memory, probably one or two that I can remember, but nothing like a buzzer beater where it was no time left on the clock, where the crowd rushes, where it's a buzzer beater like that. That's just something that doesn't happen a lot. It's kind of rare in basketball to get all those things to align and for it to be a perfect shot at the buzzer. It's crazy.
Analytics, big in basketball. You got Ken Palm, you got the net rankings, you got all these analytics that are crunched, but you're a guy that helps your team win and that stuff doesn't show up. How does that make you feel knowing how important you are to a team that can win a national championship?
It's kind of crazy, man. It's so funny that how people are diving into numbers, how people are diving into analytics, and I get it. People want to be more involved with the game. People want to understand the ins and outs. But analytics say that I shouldn't be in the game. Analytics say I shouldn't have shot that shot. And analytics say, well, I wouldn't have made it. But that's the thing about analytics is it's so cut and dry. It has no room for human emotion, has no room for human confidence, and it has no room for, going above and beyond that. And I think that's something that people have to realize that goes outside of analytics is, you can go above and beyond it.
Previous segment, I made a point about your free throws your first year and being in that moment. Yesterday, you didn't hit the rim. I mean, you were calm, you were confident, you knew you were going to make that shot. Speak about the last 4 years, 3.5 years of just offensive progression, your confidence level, the work that you put in to get to this point.
I think it's important that you put in the work. I think that's probably one of the most important things you can do as a basketball player. But if you don't have that confidence going into the games, it's nothing that work can do, and it's not going to show up in primetime moments because you don't believe in yourself. The main thing for me is really believing in your shot, believing in yourself, and knowing that you're going to make the shot, not questioning if you will, if you can, what happens if you don't. No, just thinking about the opposite of that. When you do, when you make it, how it's going to affect the crowd, what's going to happen after you make it. That's all I was going through my head and thinking about. And I think that combined with the reps of me getting it in games and continue to improve, I think that's why with a guy like me, I get better from the start of the season to March time where it's time to be, the best of yourself.
Let's go back to the Alabama game. You guarding Mark Sears, one of the best players in the country. You're one of the best defenders in the country. Walk us through what it's like to guard Mark Sears for 40 minutes.
Man, he's a tough guard. He really knows how to get to his spots. He's a guy that you can't lose while ball watching. You have to pay attention to because he's consistently knocking down open threes. And I think that was the main thing that he was able to get was a lot of open threes where we kind of left him, we kind of forgot about him. But he knows how to draw fouls. He knows how to use his body. He's a crafty guard, and he has really good footwork. But he's tough, man, and he wants to win. He's a competitor, and he wants nothing more but to bring in his best. And, you can't do nothing but respect that.
Absolutely. Best defensive player in the country. Leave him open. He'll knock down shots, too.
I love the post-game interview where the girl asked Jahmai, or she said to him, the heart and soul of the team is this guy right here. And Zakai was in the background, and he goes, kind of looked up like, what? What an effort by Jahmai. Great game, man. We'll talk about the week ahead when we come back on the locker room.
Hi, I'm Laura Ash, your West Knoxville State Farm agent. I've been here in the Renaissance for 17 years, and I'd love to help your young football players or anyone with their car insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Give me a call at Laura Ash State Farm.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
What's up, guys? It's Devin Driscoll, owner of D1 Sports Trading. We know in 2024, convenience is king, so we have locations not just in Hardin Valley, but now one in Maryville, in Farragut, and in Morristown, with more soon to come. So keep an eye out. We want to bring D1 Sports Trading to everyone in East Tennessee.
Hey, Tim Hoskins here from Covenant Sports Medicine. I'm the corporate manager of sports medicine, and I want to speak a little bit to our community partners and relationships that we have. We partner with FC Alliance Soccer, LeConte Center at Pigeon Forge, Johnson University, numerous high schools in and around the area, AAU basketball, Morristown Landing, travel hockey, volleyball, lacrosse, you name it, we're probably involved. What a lot of people don't know about Covenant Health is we're a nonprofit, community-based healthcare delivery system. We provide services in your community. If you ever need help with some event medicine or sporting event, scan the QR code at the bottom. Covenant Health, our mission is to improve lives through better health.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
Keys to Victory is brought to you by Garza Law.
But T. Jones Live, let's start with breaking down the midweek game at Ole Miss.
It's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be the toughest game out of the last three. Obviously, we beat LSU, and we beat that fraud team, Texas A&M, on the road. Ole Miss is going to be tough. Got to have second chance points. We had 20 second chance points against Alabama. We got to continue that. Points off turnovers, Jason. We got to have points off turnovers. We putting pressure on people, and then we got to score, and then we got to have good spacing, and that happens with hard cuts with a purpose.
Swain, don't call anybody a fraud, okay?
Oh, no, I'm nicer. I'm nicer than that.
Cool.
Now, got to start fast. South Carolina, they have a really, really tough home court advantage. Don't matter what their schedule says, they always play hard at home. You got to defend the three. Anytime there's an upset, usually the underdog shoots the ball well from the outside. So defend the three. Don't give up points in the paint. Don't get in foul trouble. Should win against South Carolina.
I will admit I got a little tired of hearing in the broadcast on Saturday that the Alabama-Tennessee game was for a number one seed. There's a number of teams that could have something to say about this, but I will ask this in the last 20 seconds. If you win the last two games, since the SEC tournament never seems to be taken into account, are you a one seed?
Yes.
I believe so also. One seed if we beat Ole Miss in South Carolina.
South Carolina, there we go. So it's Senior Day on Saturday. We'll talk to you next week right here on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law. This is the Players Show.